Hello, this is Pia from Atlanta High Heels. I'm sitting here in Tokyo in a beautiful karaoke bar with Inger from the number Zero. Hello.
Hello.
Could you please introduce the band for those who don't know it yet?
The number zero is the kind of passion project of me, Inger. I used to be in Salty Dog way back, and also the guitarist Taira. He kind of still is in a band called Conception Complex, and our DJ friend Kay right now.
What kind of music are you playing?
We're still kind of finding our sound, but it's all about kind of heavy, a little bit of electronic, and hopefully good melodies.
Okay. There's already one song released with a video on YouTube.
Yes.
And you're recording a new album now.
Yes.
What can we expect?
I would say more of the same, but it's actually a lot of different things. But it will be same type of, again, it's kind of heavy guitars with some more electronic, some more like kind of raw acoustic. It's not acoustic, but you know, some more down to earth type of sounds.
Okay. When you were in Salty Dog, you worked with autotune a lot, especially in the beginning. Will you do this in the new band too?
Not at the moment, because we'd have to buy an autotune. It's a cool effect to use, but I don't want to use it all the time. It was very much like a gimmick that we did in Salty Dog because it was very popular at the time in Japan. I don't know if you heard about a band called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Yeah. They were very popular and just influencing a lot of bands. So we did some of that. And I think it's fun to use now and again, but it's not something that I want to use all the time on every song because, you know, I do have a voice. So, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Did it happen to you that some people said, oh, she can't sing, she needs autotune?
I bet somebody did. Like in Japan, people don't think about it that way. 'Cause a lot of people actually do playback and they don't think that it's weird. I don't like it. But in Japan, it's very important that your concert sounds exactly like the CD, which is really weird. But I bet on YouTube a lot of people said that. So I don't read the YouTube comments for the music videos because the few that I have seen have been a lot of very weird things. So yeah, but yeah, it would make me kind of sad. I think I actually made a YouTube video on my own channel, kind of explaining this whole thing about autotune being seen as kind of an effect, the way that we're using it in this kind of music rather than like something you do to fix your voice because you can't sing. Yeah.
The song that you already released is called Web of Truth.
Yes.
The lyrics are kind of serious. Can you explain the story behind it?
Yes. There's a few themes in the song, but the kind of overlying theme in the song is about a person who is not able to lie, and the good sides and the bad sides of always having to tell the truth. Because in a way, for me, I'm a pretty bad liar. I don't like lying, but I have had to lie a lot because, you know, people always tell me, oh, you have to try to be cool, stuff like that, which is very hard for me. But then also sometimes I have told the truth when I shouldn't have. And it's like gotten me into some very hard situations. So it's kind of about like the juxtaposition of not being able to lie, and sometimes you're happy that you have that, and sometimes you wish you could. Yeah.
But do you think telling the truth might be hard sometimes, but in the end it is better than building, I don't know, a web of lies instead?
Yeah. If if you're telling the kind of lie that you have to build a huge web around, you probably should have just told the truth from the beginning. Is what I'm thinking. I think sometimes you don't have to say everything, but it's best it's best to tell the truth if it's necessary. You don't have to somebody, like, if your friend says, "Do I look fat?" You don't tell them they look fat. But about serious things, if you're going to say something, I think you should say what's real. And if you don't want to talk about it, just say, "I'm not going to talk about it." Rather,
Okay.
yeah.
What else can we expect lyric-wise from the new album? Because you already told me that you recorded some songs already.
Yes, we have with Web of Truth is 3 songs right now. It's one called "Call Your Name" and one called "My Demons Have Demons." So "My Demons Have Demons" is pretty dark. It's it has a little bit of a underlying techno thing, so it has kind of a party rhythm, but the theme is very dark. It's very much about being in a very deep place where other people have pushed you down, but then there's kind of a continuation in the second verse where you kind of try to claw yourself back up. "Call Your Name," it's me trying to write a very positive song. So I was trying to be okay, this could be a message that we could all hear and we could oh yeah, together. So it's basically about the world is a really hard place to live in, and everybody is fighting something, but at least we should support each other while fighting. So it's kind of positive in something very negative. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. That's what people should do.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. It's all, though, kind of like Web of Truth. I think I try to write kind of lyrics that are not face value. When you see them or hear them for the first time, maybe it's not obvious what they're about, so that people can kind of make their own interpretation of it, because that's what I like when I hear something. So
you already played some shows with your new band, and I missed one.
yes.
I just came 2 days later to Japan than this show. How do people react to your new band and to your new songs?
It's quite different because before it used to be a lot of upbeats, very getting people to dance kind of rhythms, and I would definitely like to do that, but the guitarist in my band now all of his songs are very dark, so we're telling him write a party song, and every time it's oh, I wrote a party song, and it's just super dark.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot more headbanging and that kind of stuff. But I feel the people have embraced it. Mostly so far I thought that there would be more fans coming over from my last band, and on social media they're all there, but people who come to the concerts are mostly, I think, new people. I feel it's a little bit of an older audience maybe, who don't necessarily come to dance, but to get into it and feel it. But the thing is, so far everyone's only heard one song, so
True.
they don't come to the concert knowing the song, and they're not when we start playing and they're "Why?" unless they've been to every show. We have a few people who've been to every show so far, but yeah, that's kind of why we want to take a little bit of a break and make an album, so that people can hear the songs, and then if they like it, they will come and they will get into it with us.
When do you think the album will be released?
We're really, really hoping for October, but it's gonna be very tight.
Soon.
It's very soon. It's very soon. But there are a few reasons why we want to be ready for October and November. Yeah. If I say something about it, it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then don't do it.
Let's not jinx it.
There were some rumors when you left your old band, because I think first they said you have to take over a full-time job and to be able to stay in Japan.
Yes.
And then shortly after that you announced that you have a new band.
Yes.
So what's the true story behind it?
The true story, and I'm very scared. I hope they never see this, but I don't speak English, so it's fine. Is I quit the band because for a lot of reasons, but one big reason was that I felt like I was not being treated very well, but also I was not getting any creative input anymore. It was to the point where I didn't even get to decide what to write about anymore, because the only thing that I got to do at this point was write lyrics exactly to the melody that they made. Like, there were no changes accepted ever. And so at least I got to write lyrics, but then they would ask me, like, what are your lyrics about? And I would tell them, and they're like, no, it's not good enough. It has to be simpler, because they wanted very, like, high concept type lyrics, which I don't really do very well. So they're very like, okay, write a song about this, write a song about that. And in the beginning, like, sometimes it's interesting, because if you don't get any input, you just write about the same stuff over and over and over again. But then the people who were telling me what to write about kind of kept telling me to write the same things over again. They're just like, oh, write about, like, realizing your dreams, blah, 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 blah. And, like, first of all, it's kind of a copy of One Ok Rock, because that's like 80% of their songs. But also, it became very hard to write about it when I felt like I wasn't realizing my dreams. I was kind of giving up what I wanted to do for somebody else's dream. So, yeah, because I like to create things.
Yeah.
I'm creative with a lot of things. Like, I draw, I paint, I write stories, I write lyrics, I, like, design clothes, or, like, cut up clothes, because I can't sew. But I like to make things, and if I have to struggle really hard to make very, very little money, at least I want it to be for something that I really want to do. And it was becoming something that wasn't my choice at all anymore. So I wasn't creating anything, I was just performing. And then I would rather have a real job and actually make money for, you know, eating and living. So that's some other reason.
Okay. And in your new band, in the number zero, you have the possibility to be more creative and to bring yourself more into the music.
Yes. I get to finally start to try and make music for myself, even though I don't feel like I'm good enough yet. But I try to make melodies, and I send it to people, and then they can tell me if it's bad or if it's good, or if they want to change it. And I get to decide everything that I want to write about. If I want something, on the other hand, I can, like, ask them, like, what's something that you wanna make a song about, or something. I get to decide what I wear, which I also didn't get to do at the end in Salty Dog.
Okay.
Yeah, at some point there was a huge blow up and a huge fight, because I have dyed my hair pink before a music video. So
Eternal.
The last one.
I think it was Eternal.
Yeah. Eternity. Yeah. That was a big thing. Yeah, so now I get to look as weird or as normal as I want to look. And that's nice. So I'm also, like, trying to kind of create a new image, but I don't really know what anymore, because, like, I started out just kind of being myself on stage, and now I have to be myself, but also different from what I was then. So I'm just trying a lot of different things, and it's a lot of fun, basically.
You also sang Japanese in Salty Dog.
Yes.
Will you do it in the number 02?
I do want to, because I think Japanese is it's a very nice language for singing, because there's so many vowels. It's very lyrical. But I also don't feel like I'm good enough at Japanese to, like, write poetry.
Okay.
But I'm thinking at some point I will ask my band, like, say, like, this is kind of what I want to say. Can you help me, like, make a nice lyric out of it? But I also, it's important that it doesn't sound too similar to the Salty Dog thing that we did. So yeah, we have to figure out a way to do it right.
Okay. Before we came here, we also talked about the metal scene in Japan. Could you please explain for our audience what the metal scene in Japan is about?
The metal scene?
Or the many scenes.
Yes.
You said there is a visual kei scene.
There's the visual kei scene, which is quite separate from the, like, loud scene, which is basically what we're doing with Salty Dog. Although they tried to merge it at some point, but we also talked about it didn't work out because the fan culture is so different. There's also like the metal head scene, like the people who like kind of old school foreign metal a lot. I would say it's quite different. I don't know that scene that well, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. But yeah, like the people that I mostly know is the loud scene, which are the people who are very like open to. They're not that concerned about genre. They want to bang their heads and they want to like mosh and do all kind of fun stuff. And yeah, they're not very strict about like, oh, this isn't heavy metal enough, or this isn't this enough, or like, oh, we hate pop because we like metal or anything. Like people are very fluid, which is both, good and frustrating at times. Yeah.
And we also talked about women in Japan and the women rights. And you said that they are more or less in the 60s, stuck in the 60s.
Yeah, maybe the 70s if I'm gonna be nice. Japan is very behind on equality. I feel like a lot of like people who kind of have a following in Japan and stuff, like women, I think they're often not vocal enough about it because they come here and they only want to say the nice things because that's what people want to hear. But I think it's important to tell people also, especially if you come from a Western country and you come here, you will not have the same place in society as a man will. And yeah, you will be looked at differently. And of course you will also have some merits over men, but mostly in the ways that matter. Like when you talk, people are going to take you less seriously, very obviously. People are not going to care that much about like sexual assault and that kind of things. It happens all the time in Japan, and they say they want to change it, but they don't do anything about it. So yeah, women of course make a lot less than men. Women who want to have babies have to quit their jobs mostly, and sometimes they can come back, but it's very hard. So yeah, and also like both for women and men it's a problem, but it's normal that everybody gets married. You need to have a family at some point. So yeah,
a lot of pressure on that.
A lot of pressure, yeah. And of course like men can get married at mostly any point in their life, but women has like a expiration dates naturally.
Okay.
So there's that.
But you're an artist, so that's the change starts with the art, I would say.
Yes.
So you're at the right point to
So,
make change happen.
But then again, I'm a foreigner, so
yeah,
people are not really gonna listen to me. It's like, yeah, that's nice, that's what you do where you are from. But so but I also do know lately a lot of Japanese women who are really trying to make a stand. So hopefully there's hope for the future.
Okay, thank you so much, Inger. If people want to find out more about your art and stuff you're doing, where can they follow you?
On Instagram, I am Hoshifune, and on Twitter, I have an account in English that is it's a really stupid name.
HX Heart Vlog.
HX Heart Vlog, yeah, because I tried to do YouTube and now I'm just stuck with that account. And there is also Facebook that's just Inger Gossamer. There's not a lot of people on there, but I do post, So yeah, you can check out all of these. And also, my band is the English account is www.zero-bands. Yes, and for the Japanese account, it's zero band and zero. If you speak Japanese. But I try to always like make sure that we post the same things so that everyone knows what's going on.
Okay, and there's a little challenge between the international Twitter and the Japanese Twitter. So go and follow the international account.
Yes.
So that we can at least don't suck it up so much.
Yes. Do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.